Hey guys, it's Melanie. Hope your day's off to a great start. I'm coming at you again with one eye done and one eye obviously not done because we are doing another perfect neutral eye tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is what I am using on my eyes. I picked this up recently at Sephora, and really the only reason I did is because so many of you guys asked me if I was going to get it, what my thoughts were on it, if I have it, do I think it's worth investing in, how's the formula, is the color story as amazing in person as it looks online? So many questions. So I did buy it, and I've been using it now for at least a couple weeks, and I love it. I really do. This palette is geared more towards those of us who like a more neutral or cool toned eyeshadow palette, which if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know that I love. And this just, it spoke to me. Sorry, I have to move my mirror here for a second. It's beautiful. And I do like the fact that you can pop these shades out and rearrange them within the palette if you would like. If you have other Natasha Denona palettes, you could certainly customize this by popping out maybe shades that you don't love and replace it with something else from another palette that you do love. There's just, I don't really feel like there's anything bad to say about this palette, to be totally honest. I have used almost every single shade in this palette by now. The only one that I don't actually care for is this center eyelid, this old gold type shade. And really, like, I feel like this is the only shade in the palette that I was like, what is this doing in here? It looks like it belongs in one of her other, like, sunset type palettes. This just, yeah, gold with my gray hair. I don't personally love it. I can do it, and I have done it in the past, and it can look nice, but I don't love it. That's the thing. But I'll keep the shade in here because, to be honest, the only other Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette that I have is the Lila. And I think those are those bigger? Hold please. Now I need to satisfy my own curiosity. Yeah, these shadows are much bigger in here than in the sky. So I won't be putting any of these in here, but I really like this formula. Like, I really like this formula, you guys. Brain fart. Last week I showed you a look with the She's in Parties palette from Melt Cosmetics. If you missed that video, I'll link it down below. This is kind of a purple smoky eye. Today I'm just going to be showing you a very neutral, not really smoky eye, but just neutral everyday look that you could wear to the office or running errands if you were being a little extra like I am most days. Yeah, and this has been probably my favorite look. What's the best way to show you guys? This is one of my favorite looks that I've come up with so far, so let's get into it. I did already prime my eyes, by the way. Right now I'm using the Viseart eyeshadow base. I love this one. A little bit goes a long way. It really does help the shadows to grip and to stay put all day and to not crease, to not fade in any kind of way. And it doesn't make my eyes water, which if you are someone who deals with watery eyes, please think about maybe changing or looking into the type of eyeshadow primer that you're using, because sometimes that is what is causing people's watery eyes. I know that that was the case for me. That one and the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, oddly enough, never have made my eyes water. So something to look into. I have also set my my primer with the Wet n Wild eyeshadow single in Brulee. Are they still selling that? I don't know. I haven't looked. By the way, if you want to know what's on the rest of my face, the lips, everything else, I'll put everything in the description box along with links. So if you're curious, you can find that information down there. So let's get into it. My brush is, this is actually a Sigma brush, a Sigma Blending E25, readily available. Who doesn't have Sigma brushes, right? By the way, Sigma brushes not my favorite. I know everyone and their brother partners with Sigma to put out sets and stuff like that. When I placed my order the very first time with them, like the brushes just fell apart so quickly after receiving them. Honestly, their blending brushes, like these guys here, are the only ones that I still have in my collection, and these are good. So if you're looking for an inexpensive blending brush, this is a great option. But overall, Sigma, not my fave. I would actually say check out Zoeva. I think their brushes, fabulous. Love them. Also, fairly similar price point to Sigma, so I don't know. All right, we are going to get started with this crease shade here. By the way, I have not rearranged my palette, so if you have this and you have everything in the original location, that's how I'm going to tell you what I'm using, because there's no names. So, crease right here. And again, my little tip, I'm going to pick up my Melt palette here to show you. I usually do this on my tabletop in front of me. I like to tap the eyeshadow into my bristles before, you know, going in and starting my blending action here in the crease, because the shadow will come up through the bristles and you'll get a more even deposit of color this way. Try it. I know it's worked for a lot of you guys, and I love doing that. All right, let's see here. We're gonna do some moving together. Okay, hopefully I am in frame. Am I in frame here? Okay, I'm gonna stay at this awkward angle. So I am going to start with putting that crease shade in my crease. Now I follow my natural socket line. If you feel around your eyes here, you can feel where your eye socket is. And I like to tuck the shadow in there. And then on this outer part right here, I like to go slightly above. And what that does is it gives me like a slight cat eye lifted type of effect. If your eye shape is drastically different from mine, obviously just put it where you like it. And as I go into my inner corner, a lot of the color has been removed from the brush because it's focused out here, but I am still bringing it in to my inner corner, and I like the windshield wiper motion. I know some of you are swirly swirlers, some of you are tippity tappers. I am a windshield wiper motion broad. So that is my base, and we're going to build from there. I always think it's nice to start off with a lighter shade as a base. I think it helps with blending with darker shades, and then it also adds to that nice gradient, if that makes sense. Next, I'm going to go into my smoke, which is this one right here. So you can see we're very neutral today. And same placement. Oops, sounds like Stella's on lunch. She was doing some one-on-one work with her teacher, obviously online. And I think she's on break now, which is good. She's been doing a really good job of being independent. Like, you know, sometimes I'll leave for like 10-15 minutes and let her do her own thing, and I think she likes that level of independence. Stella's in 3rd grade. Let me know down below how your kids are doing with the comprehensive distance learning. I think it's going as smoothly as it can, given that I'm her second teacher, which, terrifying. I don't know how you regular homeschool moms do it. It's really less than ideal for Stella and I, but we're gonna make it work because that is what this year is all about. Being flexible, just being flexible. Trying to be so flexible this year. All right, so how are we doing? Here we go. Remember, you want this eye to match this eye, so definitely, you know, if you feel like you need to go back to the other one to do a little bit more blending. Normally, I would do crease, crease, lid, liner, you know, one right after the other. It's a little harder when you do this like an hour before you get to this eye. But I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of matching things up. Not a lot of fallout from these shadows, by the way, which is something that I really like. All right, pretty easy. Now I'm going to take my, my flat shader brush. This is called the Luxe Classic Shader. This one is from Zoeva. And I'm gonna go in with they're calling this the Center Eyelid shade. It's a really pretty rose gold. They're screaming. Oh, I think she's talking to her friend. Okay. Parenting from a distance. And I'm putting that on my lid. This shader brush is fabulous for the lid because it just puts shimmer shades down so beautifully. Like they're so intense with this brush. I love it. It's almost like I'm using my finger. Almost. Okay, so then I'm going to take off that excess. I have a really nice fluffy towel in front of me and I'm literally just wiping the excess off. You can still see some residual color, but most of it's gone. Now I'm going to go into the brow bone and center lid shades here. I'm just going to take a little bit of both. And I'm going to put that in the center of my lid. I'm following directions, mostly. One of them's brow bone, one of them's center eyelid, but I feel like I should give myself a pat on the back for being able to follow basic directions. Oh, I love rose gold on the lids. I really do. I think that's so pretty. Now we're going to go in with lash line right in the old center here. And another Zoeva brush that I love. This is actually their brow line brush, but I like to use this for my eyeliner. I've talked about this a lot. Because of my oily lids, I love using eyeshadow as my liner because it's going to stay put better than a pencil and it's less harsh than a liquid liner. I hate harsh liquid liner. Like, unless you're doing like a very distinct like cat eye flick kind of thing, I don't like liquid liner. I'm very particular in my old age. Who else has found that the older you get, the more opinionated you are about your opinions? That's probably what's wrong with older people, right? We all have kind of our set way of doing things and we can't really necessarily think outside of that. I try really hard to think outside of the box, but I definitely have my preferences. No lie. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, this is actually a Moda brush. What is this? The Moda Crease. I think you can find Moda brushes at Walmart. This came in a BoxyCharm forever and a day ago when I used to get BoxyCharm, and this is a great like brush to blend everything together with. So I'm just going and making sure that everything has a nice gradient. Again, if you need to go to the other side to make sure it's even, do that. And that's it. It's obviously not it. I need to put on mascara, but I'm not gonna make you guys watch me put on mascara this week. I did do that in last week's video, so if you wanna see the different mascara layers, stuff like that, go watch that video. I don't want this video to be that long. I usually take about 5 solid minutes to put on my mascara, which is excessive, but I love perfectly separated lashes. Spider lashes, It's one of those things where I don't do it. I need volume, but I need separated perfect volume. And when I see people without, like having used like a lash comb and they have those thick clumpy, I just want to like just go and do it for them. I don't, because I understand the bubble, but it's tempting. Last thing I'm gonna do is if there is any fallout, I'm just gonna brush it away. So off I go with my mascara, and there you guys go. That's the finished eye look. I'll also post a picture on Instagram, so maybe if you want to see it up close, you can find it there. All right, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch today. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video because we're going to be talking about my current gray hair favorites. I'm excited to share those with you. By the way, if you don't have gray hair, the vast majority of these products are still going to totally be applicable to you, but this video is especially for those of you with gray hair who need suggestions for products that are really going to treat your naturally gray hair very kindly. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.